Yankees win the series against the Mariners, but they do it again. They cannot sweep series, at least not often. They're not 3-8 when they have a chance to sweep a series. 1-5 on the road. And what's also weird and somewhat concerning, I'm not sure if it's a coincidence, but I don't think it is. I've been saying they're especially bad on getaway days, last games of series, but just in general, this afternoon games, 12-21 day games, 32-21 night games. So same amount of losses, 20 more wins at night. It's really strange. So look, they win the series against the Seattle team who actually has a better record than the Yankees. You wouldn't think it, but they do. So in a nutshell, it's fine, but there's just too many missed opportunities to sweep series. And the way that they lost the third game, and that's when I'm recording it also. So it would be different because there have been a few times where they would lose the first game and then win the last two. And so kind of the morale and the thoughts are more positive, but can only go based off of recency. And so, they get one hit in game three, and that takes this, that stings for a team that really needs to win as many games as they can. So look, if you can consistently win series, that goes a long way, but they're not going to do that. So when you have a chance to sweep, you have to take advantage of it. So to me, that's just a consistent problem. And it's, again, a lot of road games, day games, getaway days. It's, again, consistency with that, not in a good way. So, in this series, the bats were strong for the first, let's say, 11 innings. Then for the remaining 16, does that add up? Yeah. First 11 innings, the offense was great. Last 16 didn't score a run. So, again, that's the offense in a nutshell. Just not getting it done with any type of consistency. And there was some good in this series. I mean, Jameson Taillon was really good. Luis Cessa, who I'm a fan of, I've said it a million times, he was really good. And Luke Voit was someone else who had been struggling and really had a strong series. So there were some positives. Again, they win the series, but just again, I'm not seeing anything to say that this team has really turned any type of corner. I'll let you know when I see it. I haven't seen it yet. Not at all. So, yeah, in the first game, the Yankees just blew out the Mariners 12-1 against old friend Justice Sheffield, former Yankee prospect who they acquired from Cleveland, and Sheffield has had a really rough season. Yankees traded Sheffield when they got James Paxton, and Sheffield has just been really bad. And Taillon had an excellent start. So Taillon, it's been getting better slowly, really slowly. His ERA is still at about 5, but it's getting a little bit better. And the Yankees, here's the key. In the first two games they won, first inning, they jumped out to the lead. The Yankees don't do that enough. They got the lead early. And the big blow was a Giancarlo Stanton 3-run homer in the first after LeMahieu singled and then Judge flied out and LeMahieu tagged and went to second. That's good, rare base running by the Yankees, where LeMahieu gets that extra base. Sanchez walks, 3-run bomb Stanton. And in the second, you would have a 1-out walk for Tim LaCastro, who played a lot in the series and was pretty good, all's considered. Then LeMahieu singles, then Judge grounds out, and so it's first and third, and Judge actually steals second, and another rarity. In a first and third situation, 2 outs, that's something that most teams do. Yankees don't do too often. He takes second. Oh, no, what happens is Sanchez walks, and it's another one of those classic Yankees scoring on a wild pitch. LaCastro scores because when Sanchez walked, it was also a wild pitch. So that makes it 4-0, then Stan gets hit by a pitch, and then Luke Voit starts his fantastic 5-hit night, his first 5-hit night of his career, gets that RBI single, and the Yankees take a 6-0 lead. And Sheffield's done right in the second inning. And then in the third inning, it would be a walk for Rougned Odor. Keep in mind, house cleaning wise, Gleyber Torres did not play in this game. Some hamstring soreness or tightness. He would play the last 2 games of the series, but Odor was in this one and played well. Also at this juncture, Darren O'Day placed on the IL with that hamstring is acting up again. So O'Day on the shelf. and they called up Nick Nelson because of that. And he would then start the next game, but we'll get into that as well. So Odor walks, Andujar singles, and then after Locastro pops out, you get an RBI single from LeMahieu and an RBI double from Judge. 8-0. Really good stuff. Fifth inning, Locastro single, LeMahieu fly out, Judge single, Sanchez fly out, Stanton walk, bases loaded for Voit, gets an infield single, RBI single at 9-0. The Mariners would score 1 run off a tie-on in the 6th, and then in the 8th, Voit double. And what was good was Voit was hitting it to the opposite field, which he hadn't been doing enough of. Urshela single, and then Rougned Odor 3-run homer. So you had a Stanton 3-run homer, and Odor 3-run homer is kind of the bookends. Then in between, a bunch of RBI hits. So that would make it 12-1. And then of definite note, after Peralta pitched the 8th, Wandy Peralta, in the 9th, it would be Aroldis Chapman pitching in a non-save situation. And it wasn't pretty, but he would pitch a scoreless inning. I don't have trust in him at all. There would be a couple of walks. There would be a wild pitch, but he did strike out the side. So maybe he gained some confidence, but it's still a major work in progress. But this was definitely notable that Chapman pitched in a 12-1 game. So the Yankees win 12-1, and it was, again, really as good as it could have been. Then for game 2, Domingo Germán would have emergency root canal surgery. But what was weird was that he still pitched in the game. He ended up pitching 3 innings in relief. Nick Nelson started. Nick Nelson, I know he's young, but I don't like the guy. He hasn't been good this year. His ERA is almost 10, and he didn't pitch well on this one. And Luis Cessa would come on in and pitch 3 1/3 and really just shut it down for them when they really needed it. So there was, definitely recovery from the bad Nelson start, including Germán coming in there. So in this one, again, the Yankees got off to an early good start. And against Kikuchi, who the Yankees have had success against before, but he's an all-star this year. And they definitely got to him, again, first and second inning. This is kind of where the offense continued on from game 1 and then died. So in that first inning, with 1 out, Judge walks, Sanchez walks, then a fly out to Stanton, and then RBI single Voit, 2-run single Gleyber. So 2 guys that have struggled, Voit and Gleyber, contributing there, making it 3-0. Then in the bottom of the first, it would be with 1 out, a hit by pitch to Mitch Haniger, a walk for Kyle Seager, and Nelson just getting into unnecessary trouble. Then a line out, and then a walk to Jake Fraley with a wild pitch. So the Yankees are on the bad end of this one. A wild pitch scores Haniger on the Fraley walk, and then Tom Murphy walks. So all in all, Nelson walks 3 guys, hits a batter. I don't like him, and I hope he's off this team very soon, but I'm sure we'll see him just because there's been a lot of injuries and whatnot. But so Luis Cessa comes in and gets shed long to ground out, which was a big at bat right then and there to just shut it down at 3-1. And then in the second inning, great hustle by Tim Locastro. What normally would be a single for most hitters is a double for Locastro. Very fast, very alert, great speed. And then LeMahieu flies out, gets Locastro over to third, and then Judge hits his 20th homer of the year, a 2-run homer, and Judge continues his mainly good play. And that makes it 5-1, and then Cessa just really adds that stability, which they needed desperately. Germán comes in the 5th, pitches a good 5th, but in the 6th runs into a little bit of trouble, and Urshela makes a rare error. So these runs were actually unearned, but the home run ball has been Germán's problem, and at the end of the inning, with 2 outs, 2 on, Tom Murphy hits a 3-run homer. Makes it 5-4. So all of a sudden, it's a 1-run game. Germán would pitch a clean 7th, though, which helps. So Germán looked better, but he's got to limit that home run ball. And then in the 8th and 9th, it's the Loaisiga-Green combination, and those 2 have just been mostly brilliant this season for the Yankees bullpen. Loaisiga gets 2 strikeouts in his appearance, and then Green gets the save in the 9th. He gets 2 strikeouts as well. So who knows how long it's going to last, but those 2 have been instrumental in helping this team as best they can. So Loaisiga-Green, stick with that, stay away from Chapman, and you'll be good. And then the last game, plain and simple, they really just did not get it done. And I think that the Yankees don't make a big deal about it, but to me, this getaway day, afternoon game, all of it. It's just strange. It's not surprising, and I just think that the Yankees are at this point a pretty average ball club, which is why they're 44-42. But yeah, they get nothing. They get nothing today. Montgomery, the home run ball hurt him, but he pitched good enough to win. And Montgomery, he hasn't been amazing, but he certainly has been far from bad. He goes 6 2/3, gives him good length, and only gives up 3 runs. So it was good enough and gets 9 strikeouts as well. And Logan Gilbert, a young pitcher for Seattle who is highly touted, but he shouldn't have pitched this well. I mean, there was hittable pitches. This isn't a scrub. This is someone who's supposed to be good, but he goes 7 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and 8 strikeouts. Just really pathetic by the Yankees. Just awful. So in the bottom of the first, it would be a solo shot for Kyle Seager. Gives the Mariners 1-0 lead, and the Yankees' best chance would come in the second. Giancarlo Stanton would double, their only hit of the game. Then Luke Voigt gets hit by a pitch. Then Gleyber Torres flies out, but he gets Stanton over to third. First and third, 1 out, and Gio Urshela strikes out. Doesn't get the job done there at all. And then Brett Gardner grounds out. And Gardner, it was, whereas I felt like he was kind of turning the corner a little bit, it's back to bad now for Gardner. Again, he's not the guy you want out there getting regular center field reps. It's just not good for the team. And so that's a problem. And in the second inning, the home run ball bites Montgomery again with 2 outs. It's a 2-out rally. It's a single for Luis Torrens, and then a 2-run homer for Dylan Moore makes it 3-0 just like that. And there's nothing else to say here until Justin Wilson comes in relief in the 7th, gets an out, and he's been bad, but at least he got the out there. And then bottom of the 8th, Wandy Peralta, he gives up a home run. So Peralta, I'm not a huge Peralta fan. He gives up a solo shot to Mitch Haniger. That makes it 4-0. And then in the top of the 9th, which was kind of interesting, Kendall Graveman comes in. Rougned Odor pinch hits for Tim Locastro. And on the first pitch, Graveman almost hits Odor. To me, it's just he just lost control. And then Odor would fly out. Then first pitch, LeMahieu gets hit. Barely grazed. And LeMahieu, much to my surprise, was kind of staring down Graveman as if he did it on purpose. I don't know if there was any previous history, but to me, he just kind of lost control. I don't know why you would want to hit anyone in that situation. And then Judge grounds a double play. And as LeMahieu was running off the field, Graveman stared him down. Just weird stuff, but not a huge deal. But the Mariners win it 4-0 and salvage the series. And so Yankees now head to Houston. First time at Houston since everything went down, since all the allegations and the cheating scandals and everything like that. So Yankees won 2 out of 3 at home against them, and this is the last series before the All-Star break. The pitching matchups will, and also I should mention Michael King to the IL with a right middle finger contusion, and they called up Tyler Wade. So Wade is now back. He had been gone briefly. So King is gone. This will be Cortez's start. I wouldn't be surprised if Albert Abreu maybe gets called up for this because it seems like they're kind of short on arms. Maybe they send Nelson down. We'll see. So something to keep an eye on. But it'll be Nestor Cortez, who's been really good, but I am waiting for it to end against Jake Odorizzi. And then it'll be Garrett Cole versus Zach Greinke. That'll be the most interesting matchup with Cole pitching at Houston for the first time since he left as a free agent for the Yanks. So Cole versus Greinke game 2, and then to finish off the first half, or to the All-Star break at the very least, will be Jameson Taillon versus Framber Valdez. Yankees will have their hands full. Again, they won the Yankee Stadium series, but this series will kind of go a long way in determining where they're going. Expectations aren't super high, but I would certainly be happy if they won 2 out of 3. At Houston, one of the hottest teams in baseball, it'd be great. So we'll see what happens. Again, the Yankees just not taking advantage of the opportunity to sweep series.